judge, it was another arena.
Okay. Marquise Roy. Mr. Roy, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
Officers dispatched to residence in Harris County, Texas, and met with the complaining witness who stated that the defendant, the father of her children, had assaulted her. The complaining witness and the defendant were arguing over the relationship status. The complainant went to the defendant's residence to get their children, and the defendant told the complainant that he would slap her when she arrived. The complainant stated upon her arrival, the defendant brought out their children, and when he was putting the children into the vehicle, the defendant slapped the complaining witness on the right side of her face. The defendant pushed the complaining witness against the driver's side door and choked her for 5 to 10 seconds. The defendant stopped choking her and left, but then came back and choked her again for 5 to 10 seconds. The complaining witness stated that she did not feel pain from the slap, but she did feel pain from being choked twice. Officers did not observe physical injuries.
Did it impede breath?
Question. It looks like there hasn't been a RIF done on this case yet. We can certainly find that out and talk about
That's extremely.
upgrading the charges. Yes. I can ask someone to do the RIF really quickly.
One more thing. What kind of prior criminal history does this have, if any?
Both of them were dismissed. There's assault bodily injury from 2019 that was dismissed, and UCW that from 2020 was dismissed as well.
From where? Here and there?
Yes, yes.
Because I don't see it. That's why I was asking. Same complaining
Check his
witness?
criminal history, but let's see. Right, yes, there was assault bodily injury. I'm just looking at the NCIC, but the ABI was dismissed in 2019. Unlawful carrying of a weapon was dismissed in 2020, and that looks like that's the only criminal history.
ABI, same complaining witness? Can you see it? Mr. Roy, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. How old are you, sir?
25.
What do you do for a living?
I got a part-time job, looking for a full-time.
Okay.
It's not the same complainant. No. From the assault, I believe it's a man.
I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to have contact with the complaining witness in this case. You're also not to be in possession of any weapons. A protective order has been issued in this case. I would get to know it because if you do something to violate the protective order, the state can and will file additional charges against you. Then things will go sideways extremely quick. You violate those types of conditions on the VPO, I can hold you at no bond, zero bond, and I will do it in a heartbeat to protect every single person in Harris County. I don't care who they are. I don't care what color they are. Do you understand? You are also not to smoke any weed, consume any alcohol, use any illegal drugs. And I'm telling you now, I'm going to test you like crazy. If I find that you're using anything, likewise, I will put you in jail. And I'm going to tell you now, you will not get any more PR bonds. So you get into jail, you pick up multiple cases and you get a bunch of high bonds. If you don't have anyone to pony up $10,000, $15,000, you'll be stuck like Chuck in there until this case is over with. All I'm asking you to do is be nice. That's it. Do you understand? Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
No.
What kind of job are you working now?
Detailing, cleaning houses.
And how much money do you make a month?
It just depends on the houses that we get.
Okay.
It's on call.
I will give you a lawyer today, but it's time for you to get a full-time job, a 40-hour-a-week job. Do you understand? So I'm bringing you back in 2 weeks and I want to know, and I want to see what you have done to get a full-time job, a legitimate.
I'll be on it every day.
That's what it is. Because when you have too much time on your hands, you just become self-destructive and we want what's best for you. So for now, I'm going to have you I need you to fill out an application. Well, hold on a second. I got one. Don't worry about it. I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria and then I'm going to have to take your seat in the jury box. So we'll get your bond conditions and then here momentarily, I'll have you talk to a lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Hey, be nice. It's not hard.
I got a block on you, man.
Good evening, everybody. Imagine if everybody could just listen to that simple directions, be nice. It's not that hard. KK, you're waiting until 7. We started at 8 tonight, so we gave you an extra hour there. How's everybody doing tonight? We've got some Kentucky judge, the one that got in trouble with the sheriff. The sheriff's on trial there. We got Judge Simpson, we got Judge Oakley, we got Judge Middleton. And so how's everybody else doing? Thank you, KK, for ATX. We're coming in. KK, Emily, Nancy, Throw the Goat. We got a whole pile of people in here. And of course, my little dog making noise in the background. And so we're going to jump into the Kentucky judge. Let's just jump into a Judge Simpson one. Maybe y'all remember this guy a little while back. He wanted to be a bad boy in court and, cursed and got himself 2 years of contempt. Let's see how it goes.
Court does call the case of the people versus Daryl Jarrell.
Conrad Silver on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Your Honor, Daryl.
The last person I expected to see.
I thought I was your favorite. We got high ratings.
What?
I thought I was your favorite. We got high ratings.
High ratings? Okay, well,
All right.
Jarrell, how are you doing,
I'm
sir?
good. How are you?
Okay. What we can say is we've learned something from all of
Yes,
this,
sir.
haven't we? All right. Let me ask you this before we go on. You had something to eat?
I have.
Okay, good. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Mr. Jarrell. Mr. Jarrell would like to set both matters for final settlement conference.
Okay. Hopefully we can find a way to get these things resolved, but I'll set them. So jury final settlement conference. So you're going to have 2 days, Mr. Jarrell. Will be October 18th, 2024 at 9 a.m. Jury selection on these matters, if necessary, will be October 21st, that Monday at 8:30. Got it?
I believe so. She's gonna write this down for me.
Pardon? I got
So
it.
she's gonna write it down for me.
Oh, okay. Did you, I know the last time you were here, you didn't have a phone or anything. You
No, sir.
still don't?
Still don't. And then the other one would be the 20th, you said? October
No, you got the 18th. That's going to be a Friday
at 9 a.m.
at 9 a.m. And then if it proceeds past that point and we have to select a jury, it'll be on Monday, that following Monday at 8:30.
At 8:30. Thank you.
Sorry, it's not very.
This has made my day. I really did not expect to see you.
Why not?
Well, because you had a date on the 4th
Yes.
and you weren't here.
Fine.
And I said, I don't know if you remember everything you said to me on the first, or said in court on the first day.
Yeah.
And I thought for sure that he didn't appear on the 4th. And I said, Jarrell is gone. He is going to disappear.
Yeah, I
Trying to
came
get
on
into the
Labor Day. That's what
woodwork.
happened. I come on Labor Day and the court was closed. I'm like, what? This isn't right. Something's going on. And then I was here this morning at 9 as well.
Were you? Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So make sure what you might want to do, well, those dates, we don't have them in blocks. So if he gets here in the morning, he's good. Right. Okay. All right. You're set. Take care. Have a good one.
All right. Looks like we have a few more in here. Hey, Roland G, I see you in there. Good to see you tonight. Yeah, the dog's a miniature Dotson. She's about 7 years old now, so she's getting old, but she's still my little baby. We've got the Kentucky sheriff that got in trouble for unaliving the judge. Here's one of the preliminary hearings, and it's got some cool information about it to give you a little more detailed insight of what's going on and what happened there. Hey, Miko, looks like we got a bunch of people coming in, so let's get us started with the Kentucky sheriff.
Morgan District Court's now in session with the Honorable Rupert Bilhoy.
Thank you, sir. You may be seated.
Now, everyone on this one, I blurred out, or I ended up editing out some of the more graphic scenes. I just simply don't want to show it. So, if you want to find it, you can find it somewhere. I got this video from Court TV. Go over there and look at it. I just simply didn't want to be that guy to show that. So here we go with the trial first.
I'm going to call the case of Commonwealth versus Sean Steins, 24F 147, on for preliminary hearing. Is the Commonwealth ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the defense ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, call your first witness.
Commonwealth's Clayton Stamper.
All right, click. Mr. Stamper, if you would. Raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
Thank you. You may be seated.
You state your name correctly, please?
Clayton Stamper,
And how you spell your name, Mr. Stamper?
ClaytonStamper.
You tell the court how you're employed?
I'm sorry.
How are you employed?
I'm a detective with the Kentucky State Police assigned to Post 13 Hazard.
How long have you been employed in that capacity?
I've been with KSP a little over 24 years, detective since 2006.
And have you, in the performance of your duties as detective with the Kentucky State Police, have you investigated the death of Kevin Mullins?
Yes, sir, I did.
And can you tell us on what date that was?
It was September 19th, 2024.
In investigation of that death, were you able to determine who killed Kevin Mullins?
Yes.
And how were you able to do that?
Video surveillance footage.
And did you retrieve that video surveillance footage?
I did.
You know, at this time, the company moved to play video footage.
All right.
All right, object, approach.
Yes, approach the bench.
Detective, is that a portion of the video? Yes, it is. And were you able to identify the party that we saw in that video?
That was Sheriff Mickey Steins and Judge Kevin Mullins.
And also, who had the firearm?
Sheriff Steins.
And then, Judge was also in his black robe.
Yes.
Do you know what portion of the courthouse that is?
That is the judge's chambers
And where's that located at, physically located?
in the Letcher County Courthouse.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Would you like to cross-examine the witness?
I would, Your Honor.
That was a short clip that was played there. How long do you believe that clip was?
That we just watched,
Yes, sir.
just 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
10, 15 seconds. In fact, the video that was taken in the judge's chambers between the meeting between Sheriff Steins and Judge Mullins, it's my understanding that video lasted much longer, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And have you had an opportunity to review the video
I have.
of the prior incident?
I have.
And can you describe for us what happened immediately prior to the clip that we saw?
Sheriff Steins uses his telephone to make some phone calls. He then borrows Judge Mullins' cell phone and appears to make a call on that. And that led to what you just saw.
Okay. So it's my understanding there were some people who were having a meeting with Judge Mullins prior to the sheriff's entry into the chambers. Is that correct?
Yes.
Have you identified those witnesses?
I don't know the names of them. There's about approximately 4 people in there. Then Sheriff Steins enters the judge's chambers, and everybody else clears out.
You don't know their names?
Not right off, no.
Have you prepared a report? that might,
In the process, yes.
you're in the process of preparing a report,
Yes, a lot of information.
but you've not spoken to any of those witnesses?
I've not directly, but they've all been interviewed. There's recorded interviews of those people in the case.
Okay, so other officers have spoken with those 4 witnesses?
Yes.
And what is your understanding of what those 4 witnesses have said?
I don't recall,
You have no idea what they said?
no.
I want to make sure I understand, had there been a hearing previously this day in chambers?
In the courtroom?
No, in chambers.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. And so there's a video camera that is running in the district judge's chambers. Is that on all the time?
It's my understanding, yes.
And have you spoken with anyone about why that may be?
No. I mean, there's cameras throughout the courthouse.
Well, fair enough, but are you familiar with district judges' chambers normally, how they're set up?
No. I mean, some of them have video surveillance and some don't.
Right, but
This one does.
generally when they have surveillance, you agree with me that that is utilized when there is a proceeding going on in chambers, correct?
It could be, yes.
Okay. And I mean, I'm just asking, so this video didn't have an audio recording to it,
No,
correct?
there's no audio.
Outside of once the 4 people that were inside, that we don't know their names, once these 4 people had left the chambers, were they in an area adjacent where they could hear anything that was going on?
Yes, I believe some of them did remain in the next room.
Okay. And what did they tell us?
Do what?
What did they hear?
I've not been part, I wasn't part of those interviews.
Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, you're prepared for a preliminary hearing on a murder, and there are witnesses in an adjacent room.
I mean,
and
they heard
Now,
gunshots.
please, my question, please.
Yeah, let him ask the question.
Thank you, officer. So you are investigating a murder and testifying in a preliminary hearing, and there are witnesses who may have overheard what preceded this edited clip.
Hey, Bitter, I'm in a good mood tonight. So last week, the sheriff was in the judge's chambers with the judge, and it ended up leaving with the sheriff shooting the judge and just walking out, and ended up getting arrested. And so there's a lot going on there. Small town Kentucky, sheriff shoots the judge. All kinds of rumors, all kinds of speculation, and so here we are with this. So here we go.
Yet you can't tell us today anything that they said?
I've not personally listened to those interviews. I've talked to the other officers that did those interviews.
Fair enough, and I mean, we're here at a preliminary hearing, as you know, that you can testify to hearsay. I'm asking you what they said.
They heard gunshots.
Okay, was there any statements that they overheard?
No.
Were there raised voices?
One person stated that she didn't recognize him as being Judge Mullins' voice, but heard somebody say, "Help, help."
Presumably that will be after the firearm was drawn or shot.
Objection, Your Honor.
I withdraw, Judge.
Withdraw.
So is there any testimony that you can give us today about any statements or arguments or the content of that argument prior to the shooting?
No.
Okay. I want to ask generally, so did you process the scene? Are you the lead investigator on this case?
I am.
Okay, so as a lead investigator, I would presume that you would have secured the chambers and evidence once you arrived.
I was part of that, yes.
You were part of it, right? But you're the lead investigator, so you'd be in charge of those duties and delegating what should be done. Is that
No.
fair?
No, I don't delegate what's done.
Okay, so you're the lead investigator. What does that mean?
I'm the case officer.
Okay, so you're carrying the case. So I want to make sure I understand, had Judge Mullins been removed from chambers when you arrived?
No,
Were you able to ascertain, did he have a firearm on his person?
we did not locate one.
You did not locate one?
No, there was not one in the chambers.
Okay. And there was none on his person?
No.
Okay. All right, who was the first person to arrive on behalf of law enforcement to investigate?
They were already in the courthouse.
Fair enough, but I'm talking about in terms of people that we may see a report from or take part in this investigation. Who would be the first person?
I believe Trooper Jason Bates was the first KSP personnel on scene.
Okay. And you spoke with him
I did.
and he searched and did not locate a firearm?
No, he didn't search the scene, no.
You
His
just-
role,
Sure.
his role at that point was security of the scene.
I understand, but I'm just trying to ascertain, you said earlier that there was no firearm found.
No.
I'm wanting to know, can you tell us, was it specifically searched for a firearm?
In the judge's chambers,
Yes, sir.
there was myself, Detective Chris Collins, Detective Scott Caldwell, Detective Eric Caldwell. That's all I recall right now.
Okay, but I'm trying to understand, so who searched specifically for a firearm?
We all did.
And that was specifically something you looked for?
Yes.
Fair enough, okay. Of course, your investigation, did you ascertain that prior in the day, there had been a lunch meeting between Sheriff Steins and Judge Mullins?
There was.
Pardon?
There was.
Okay. Sorry, I couldn't hear your response. I wasn't being trite. So where did this take place?
It's a restaurant called Street Side, and it's just down the street from the courthouse.
Okay. And it's my understanding there were a couple of other people who attended the luncheon?
There were several, yes.
Okay. And at some point after that, they wrapped up lunch and left, obviously, and went back to the courthouse. Are you aware of anything so far in your investigation that would tell us there was any issues at lunch between Judge
No.
Mullins and Sheriff Steins?
No.
Okay. But someone on behalf of the KSP has spoken to those witnesses?
Yes, they've all been interviewed.
And there was nothing unusual that had arisen during that luncheon?
I was told that the judge made a statement to Mickey about, do we need to meet private in my chambers? That's all I was told.
Do you know the context of
I do
what
not.
the conversation was before that they would need to discuss in chambers?
I do not.
So it's my understanding that in the larger portion of the video that we haven't had access to, that there is a point when Sheriff Steins asked for to see the telephone of Judge Mullins.
Yes.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And I would presume that you and the other officers you mentioned, when you secured the scene, that you secured those phones as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
And have you reviewed both of those phones?
They're currently at the forensic lab at this time being downloaded. I have had discussions with the people at the lab regarding the downloads.
And those are a couple of other questions that I was going to ask you, but my original question was, have you reviewed or are you aware of the content of the phones?
I've not personally seen it because I've not received those reports yet.
Okay, again, based upon your conversations with the officers, are you aware of any recent content that was up and could have been relevant at the time of their discussion?
I was told that Sheriff Steins had tried to call his daughter, and he had tried to call his daughter from the judge's phone also.
So, have you obtained the phone records from Judge Mullins' phone?
I don't have those in my possession yet, no.
Okay, have you issued a search
Yeah,
warrant for them?
Yes.
Okay. And have officers confirmed that the sheriff's daughter's phone number was on Judge Mullins' phone?
Yes, I believe so, yes.
So that number had been called from Judge Mullins' phone?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So we don't have a viewing of what transpired during that exchange of phones. But based upon your review of those moments prior to, when Sheriff Steins observes that cell phone, was he previously seated?
Yes.
Okay, so in the clip we saw, he was standing the entire time.
He was seated in front of the judge's desk.
And he looks at the cell phone. Can you describe his reaction in the video that we haven't seen?
Whose reaction?
Well, the sheriff.
You can't see his face in the video.
Okay. But is it clear that, does it appear to you that, let me rephrase this. Did he stand up after
Yes.
looking at the phone?
He stood up.
And how long after he looked at the cell phone and stood up did this occur that you played?
Just seconds.
Did you make the decision on edits today for what you were going to present?
Do
In terms of, did you make the edit or determine
No,
which portion of the video we were going to see today?
No, sir, I did not.
Both cell phones have been sent to the Kentucky State Police forensic
Yes.
team, is that correct?
Yes.
Have you gotten any early report on what was found?
No.
Were both phones still on the desk when you arrived?
The judge's phone was on the desk. Sheriff Stein's phone was on his person.
Okay, so are there photographs of, was the phone locked at that point or was it still open?
Both of you asking about both of them, or?
Well, first let's talk about, that's fair. First, I'm talking about Judge Mullins, since it was the one that was still on the desk and presumably, nobody touched it prior to you securing it, correct?
No.
So, yeah, so would like to know about that. Have you ascertained what was currently open on that cell phone?
No, I don't know at this point, no.
You don't know?
No.
Okay, do you think that will be important to learn?
I hope to learn that when the report's ready, yes.
Okay. But as of today, you can't tell us
No.
what was currently open on the judge's phone?
No, sir.
Did you conduct an interview with Sheriff Stein's daughter?
I did not, but she has been interviewed.
Are you aware of who was present when she was interviewed?
Lieutenant Randy Combs and Detective Anthony Trotter.
And she was interviewed with or without her parent?
With.
So her parent was present at the time you interviewed her?
Yes, I believe. I wasn't there, but yes, I think so.
And law enforcement has not spoken to her without her parent present?
Not that I'm aware of.
Did the Kentucky State Police obtain her phone?
No.
You intend to obtain records for her cell phone number?
Possibly, yes.
Do you believe that that will be soon that you'll do that?
Could be, yes.
Had you already intended to do that, or did you just respond to my question?
Well, the call should be on the judge's records too.
Well, I understand.
And
but-
she's made statements about what occurred during those conversations.
I understand that, but I would presume that, have you ascertained whether Judge Mullins also had apps that stand outside of phone records?
I've not received those records yet. I don't know what's on the
Well,
phone.
fair enough, but I mean, did you look at the phone? Did it appear there were apps on it?
I'm not the person that's qualified to look through the phone.
Okay, but you're familiar with cell phones. They can host other forms of communication.
Hold on.
Yes, sir.
What's the objection?
He's been asked an answer, Your Honor. He's asked a question, I think, about 4 or 5 different ways. The officers, the detective repeatedly said that he does not have a report with phones, he's not looked at the phone, he can't testify to that matter.
I'll let him ask the question, and what he can only testify what he has personal knowledge about.
Absolutely, yes, sir. Thank you.
Right.
So you're aware that phones can be used for apps such as Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. And that is not something that is captured by cell phone records. You would agree with me?
I agree.
So in light of that, although the records may be mutually the same, right, the same between Judge Mullins' phone and the sheriff's daughter, do you believe that you could also ascertain other information from the cell phone app content?
Are you asking what apps are on the phone?
Yes. Well, that was my original question.
I don't know
thought you would
I've not received that report yet. I don't know what apps he had downloaded on the phone.
If he has social media apps, do you intend to?
That could lead to additional search warrants, yes.
If you would, officer, please let me finish before you move forward, and I'll try to slow down a little bit as well, okay?
Sure.
Thank you, Trooper. Have you determined whether there were any previous issues, personal or professional, between Sheriff Steins and Judge Mullins?
I've heard things.
What have you heard?
Just that this regarding the lawsuit that the Letcher County Sheriff's Office is currently involved with.
Okay. The lawsuit that involved ultimately a criminal conviction of a deputy for sexual behavior in the judge's chambers. Is that the one you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay, and the subject matter of that lawsuit, the chambers area, that's the same chambers in which this occurred, is that correct?
I'm not familiar with the details of that case that the lawsuit resulted from.
Okay. Are you aware of any criminal reports that Sheriff Steins had made of Judge Mullins prior to this day?
No.
Did you personally observe Sheriff Steins following this video?
Did I personally observe him? What?
Did you meet with him? Did you talk to him after?
He was in custody when I arrived at the courthouse that afternoon.
And at some point, did you draw any observation about his demeanor?
He was mostly calm, I thought. I mean, I talked to him, but he didn't say nothing about why this had happened. But he was calm. He was kind of afraid that basically all he said was, "Treat me fair." That's basically the comments he made.
Okay. Did he also make a statement about, I didn't see it in the citation, you're somewhere along the line I saw a statement being attributed to him about protecting his family?
I wasn't present, but when he was taken into custody, I was told by one of the other officers that were there that he made the comment, "They're trying to kidnap my wife and kid."
Have you ascertained any evidence that this shooting was pre-planned?
No,
Okay.
not at this time.
And would you agree that from what we've seen so far, from the evidence you've seen so far, the shooting was a reaction to what was on that cell phone in that moment? Is that accurate?
Objection, Your Honor. Also speculation outside of his scope of expertise.
Your Honor, I believe if he has formed an opinion about the investigation up to this point, especially at a preliminary hearing, he can speculate on that, Judge.
Or sustained.
Sure. So, is there anything other than the content of the phone that this video will reveal to us about why this took place?
No,
Does it appear that this took place as a reaction to what was happening in the chambers at that point?
I can say it occurred after a phone call was made. I don't know what was said or nothing like that, but
Fair enough, and I'm not asking you the content of any of that, but at this point, is it your theory that whatever that content was in the discussion was the impetus of the shooting?
it could be, but I don't know that for a fact.
Okay. Do you have any evidence up until this point that you have developed that would demonstrate that it was not as a reaction to what was on the phone?
No,
None whatsoever?
no.
Okay. Here's if I had just one moment to confer. Did you attempt to speak to Sheriff Steins at the Leslie County Jail after the incident?
No,
Did anyone from your agency attempt to interview him?
not to my knowledge, no.
And at that point, had he asserted his right to an attorney or anything?
No,
But nobody went back to try to talk to him or do an interview?
no.
Okay. I think I have one other question. In addition to cell phones that we discussed, the cell phone of Sheriff Steins and the cell phone that you found of Judge Mullins, were there additional phones that you were able to obtain?
There was one other phone that's currently being examined, and the basic reason it was seized was there was a text conversation between Sheriff Steins and some of his employees with the sheriff's office.
Okay, and that was an additional phone of Sheriff Steins?
It was a phone of, I guess she's the, I don't know what her title is, but she's employed. She's not sworn. She's employed by the Letcher County Sheriff's Office. And she voluntarily gave her phone to the person that interviewed her.
Okay, and just out of curiosity, could you explain why that was relevant or germane to your investigation?
I didn't conduct that interview, but it was, I guess it was regarding the dinner at Streetside and things that led up to the shooting. But I don't have those results either, so I don't know exactly what was said.
correct me if I'm wrong, I thought when we discussed that earlier, that you indicated there was no evidence that the conversations at the lunch.
I haven't seen those conversations yet. I've not received the downloads from the phone.
Right, but I asked you if you're aware of any information that could have been gleaned from witnesses at that meeting, and as I recall, you said no, but there is some information that something was discussed at this lunch. Is that correct?
I don't know what was discussed at lunch.
I understand, but you obtained this lady that we don't know her name, you obtained her phone in an effort or based on a belief that she would be able to demonstrate what was said at lunch. So you would agree with me, you believe that there is a witness or information that may have popped up at lunch.
There's a recorded interview with her in the case, and I'm yet to receive the downloads of the phone, so I don't know what they contain.
Okay, well, has that phone been sent to the
It is.
forensic examination as well?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Officer, that's all I have. Thank you.
Redirect. Questions? Has Judge Mullins, he's sent to medical examiner's office for autopsy.
He was.
Have you received that report yet?
No.
Have you had an informal conversation with him regarding his cause of death?
Yes.
And what was that?
Multiple gunshot wounds.
The video we showed earlier, that a true and accurate clip copy of what you received?
Yes.
Councilman introduced Council Exhibit number 1, Your Honor.
Any objection?
Your Honor, I'd ask, of course, all we saw today was the clip, but I ask it be admitted in its entirety, Your Honor, as an exhibit.
You want to respond to that?
Judge, I don't think preliminary hearing is required for its probable cause. This statute of probable cause, I think the entire clip is outside the purview of these proceedings today.
Yeah, I think if you want to see the whole video, you should have objected earlier. I'll admit the short clip. Yeah. I'll have the clerk enter that as exhibit number 1.
And Detective, this is an ongoing investigation.
Yes, it is.
And as this ongoing investigation proceeds, you will be obviously interviewing more people if necessary, submitting more evidence to the lab.
Yes.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Recross.
All right. Any other witnesses for the Commonwealth?
No, Your Honor.
All right. You may step down. Any witnesses for the defendant? I'll find probable cause and bind this case over the grand jury. Anything else? Anything else before we adjourn court?
Yes, sir. There's no, we're not allowed to sum up, Judge, what.
Oh, if you want to make an argument, sure.
It sounds like I mean, I may change your mind, Judge.
It is a probable cause hearing, so, but yes.
I understand.
Take your best shot.
Thank you, Your Honor. Well, so, murder under our statute, as the court knows, and I'm not telling you anything you don't know, but if there is an issue as to extreme emotional disturbance, then there has to be some evidence that would rebut that. And specifically, when I asked the witness today if there was any evidence to rebut that this occurred as a direct result in the moment of this observation of the phone, they have none at this point. And I get it's just probable cause, but I think they've established probable cause for manslaughter first, but not murder. Because I've heard nothing that indicates that this is not, an example of an extreme emotional disturbance relative to the phone. At any rate, Judge, respectfully, I understand the court's previous ruling, but I did want to address that with you.
No, that's fine. Let the
Thank you, Your Honor.
Commonwealth respond.
Thank you, Your Honor. Extreme emotional disturbance is a defense. There's not been a defense presented here to this court today. The evidence presented to this court today is that the judge was intentionally shot and killed multiple times by the sheriff, and there's probable cause to find us the grand jury murder charge.
Yeah, I agree. There's probable cause to proceed as murder.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else before we adjourn court today?
Your Honor, in terms of, we'd like to discuss, if we could, lodging from here, mortgage transport. Is it the court's intention to have him take, and I don't want to discuss that potentially publicly, Your Honor?
I'm not sure I can make that, help you on that.
Yes, Your Honor. So
I mean, you're welcome to stay after court and discuss that, but I'm not sure I can tell the,
Yes, sir. So the transport order that was entered that will direct Sheriff Steins to go back to where he came from, Judge, is that fair?
let's adjourn court and we'll talk about that.
Yes, sir.
I don't know that I can change where he's gonna be at.
I understand. Yes, sir.
We can discuss it, all right?
All right. We're done with that one. The sound on that was horrible, but the topic was even worse, so it made the sound a little bit bearable. Today in Judge Simpson's court, he had a simple traffic infraction, but Judge Simpson noticed something else going on with the guy and investigated it, and here we go with what we got on that.
Thank you, Ms. Udo. You can log off now.
Court calls case People versus Don Lee.
Conrad Siller on behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate on behalf of Mr. Lee, who stands to my right. Please state your name for the record, sir.
Don Lee. All right. Hey, where are we on this case?
Thank you, Your Honor. This is a driver's license case and I have discussed this with Mr. Lee. He will be accepting the offer extended to plead to MCL 257.326.
So, Your Honor, I'd move to add count 2 of MCL 257.326, allowing an ineligible person to drive. You accept that guilty plea to add count 2. I move to dismiss count 1.
Let's have Mr. Lee's one.
Raise your hand, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
State your name.
Don Lee. This court's understanding you're going to plead guilty to the charge of allowing an ineligible driver to operate a motor vehicle. That's a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 90 days, $100 fine plus court costs. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
And understanding all that, still wish to plead guilty?
Yes.
And to that charge, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And you understand by pleading guilty, you'll not have a trial of any kind, but
Yes.
you cited an advice of rights form, correct?
Yes.
Any question regarding those rights?
No.
Look at paragraph 5. Those are your rights which are part of a trial. You understand by pleading guilty, you'll be giving up those rights as well as all the rights on that form.
Yes.
You understand you're giving up your right to appeal of right?
Yes.
Are you on probation or parole?
No.
Anybody promise you anything other than what's stated here today on the record to get you to plea? Anybody threaten you or coerce you?
No.
Doing this voluntarily
Yes.
of your own free will because you believe that you are indeed guilty?
Yes.
On the date of February 10th, 2024, Michigan Road near Moon Road in Pittsfield Township, Washington County, State of Michigan. Did you have custody or control of a motor vehicle?
Yes.
Did you allow someone who is otherwise ineligible to operate that motor vehicle?
Yes.
Counsel, have I complied with the court rule?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will accept the defendant's plea of guilty to count 2. Count 1 is dismissed. Anything you want to say before I impose sentence?
Just very briefly, Your Honor, Mr. Lee is asking that the court consider sentencing him to time served. I do acknowledge he wasn't arraigned on this case until September 19th and only has 9 days credit, albeit he was not being held on this case. Outside of that, I just leave it in the court's discretion.
Anything you want to say, Mr. Lee?
And I just wanted to get this over with and keep him moving.
You come back on the other thing tomorrow. Is it tomorrow?
On the 8th.
For exam, Your Honor.
Just trying to recall, when I put you into custody, did we set an exam? Is that what we
Yes.
did?
Exam is on the 8th.
Before me?
No, it's before Judge Burke.
Okay. All right, I'll take a look at that because all right.
I think I have the file out, Your Honor. Did the court have a question I could help with?
Well, I put him into custody, but I know I told him I was going to take a look at that on the remand into custody on it because it came as a result of a police report regarding something else happening.
Yes, it was because there is a new case that is coming down the pipe. To which
Yep.
Ms. Blanche said that the warrant was going to be authorized that day, I believe. Mr. Lee advises, and I don't see anything to contradict that, he hasn't been arraigned on that new charge yet, however, but the two ones that he was in front of your honor for last week for PCC are set for exam, both cases in front of Judge Burke on October 8th. He's represented by Sam Bernstein in one and the public defenders in the other.
Okay, so my question becomes all right, that's right. That refreshes my memory. Where's that other case? Because the thing, I'm not asking.
Okay,
You don't know.
I know I ain't been arraigned on it.
No, I know, but I'm trying, because I don't know, did I change his bond on, I did change his bond on that. He was supposed to then be arraigned on the other case. But that case was supposed to get, there was supposed to be a timing on that case to get down. So I remanded him. He was going to be held on these cases, on the ones that are set for exam. And then that other case was going to come down, expected that he might be in on that case. But if that case hasn't come down, I'm not going to be very happy right now.
Yes, to my understanding, Your Honor, he has not been arraigned on that new case, but the two cases that are already set for exam in front of Judge Burke, currently his bond is $15,000 on each of those cases.
Correct. I get that. What?
You raised it was a PI bond and you raised it up.
I put it up because of the representation of these other cases, but those other cases were supposed. What's the status of that other case?
Your Honor, Ashley Lottie for the people on behalf of talking about these other matters. So if I'm reading this correctly, other cases was a resisting and obstructing case that was supposed to be coming down. Is that, Ms. Page, is that correct?
I don't think it was involving a car accident and some other stuff.
I don't know the exact charges that were to be authorized, but I know the incident date was before the ones that are currently set for exam.
Right.
That being said,
I know.
Yeah.
Listen, where is that case? Because my problem here is that, and Mr. Lee is certainly not always the most cooperative person in the world, and he knows that. But he got remanded because his other case was coming down.
Correct.
And so I'm trying to, and I think there was a representation that it had been signed off or it was someplace. And the expectation was that case was going to get sworn out. While in custody, he'd be arraigned. And then there would be, based upon the facts of that case, a bond set that was likely or may have, I can't say for sure, may have kept him in custody, which is why I did what I did.
That was my understanding, Your Honor.
I just need a little bit more information.
Go look.
So I want to understand, Mr. Lee was last before the court for PCCs. The court is saying on the 26th or the 18th.
I think it was a week ago, wasn't it? I think it was
the 20.
I think it was the 26th. He was before me.
I have some help helping right now. So the new case, which does appear to be related to fleeing and eluding charges, dated incident 8/29/9/20 to 9/2. It appears that case was authorized, signed by my office on 9/26. And I don't see.
That's what was indicated to the court on the record, that it was signed off on 9/26. But then there was a representation that it was going to get sworn to. It was signed off by your office. I think that's what was represented to me. It was going to get sworn to so that Mr. Lee could be arraigned on.
My understanding is that Magistrate Fink signed that case on September 30th. It is likely,
Well, then why hasn't he been arraigned?
I'm not sure, Your Honor. It may be in a stack of things that are waiting to be entered. That's been happening.
Oh,
I don't.
no,
That's
that
all.
will not happen. Miss,
Can you tell me what the jurisdiction is? Yes. It's not.
It's not in?
Ypsilanti City. It's Ypsilanti City.
it's a city case?
No, I showed us.
It's a sheriff's office. It's a sheriff's office arrest that occurred in Ypsilanti City.
I show with the 14B.
Okay, so it's on the line. It said the swear out was on the 30th. Yeah.
I have a police officer.
Oh, really?
Yes, that helps.
So, whoa. Is that what the log notes indicate?
Yes,
So there are no charges?
correct. It says court does not find probable cause.
Okay. Okay. Just hold. Hold. That's what it says?
Yes.
So there is no case?
Can I confirm the police report number for that? Yeah, I have it. Washtenaw County Sheriff's Department report number 24-67821. I have 68821. I don't know if that's a typo, but.
And?
I'm checking with Melanie.
Yes, and while you're checking with them, have me bring them Mr. Lee's other two cases that are set for the 8th. Immediately. That's the last one I have. No.
No.
Okay, let's. Mr. Lee, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna have them take you back
Okay.
and we'll
All right.
try to figure everything out, have you brought back out, and I'll do what I gotta do.
Okay, thank
All right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. I'll see you in person soon.
Okay, thank you,
All
sir.
right. See ya.
You too. Court recalls case people versus Donnelly.
Sarah, is the court calling felony matters or just?
I am calling the felony matters also.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Lee, who stands to my right. Please state your name again for the record, sir.
Don Lee.
And I'm calling so that we're clear, 24 FB 1322, as well as 224 F 1261.
It was 1322 and 24F21261.
The felony matters, yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ashley Lonnie for the people in both of those matters.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pate with and on behalf of Mr. Lee, who stands to my right.
I still have to sentence him on the driving well or the operating well. So we've taken a look at it. That complaint that I put Mr. in custody on was not, there was no probable cause found. And so that was not done. And I'm going to say this. They knew the reason. Mr. Lee understood what I was doing and putting me in custody. The prosecutor's office, I think, was given the representation made to this court, was under an obligation to contact this court immediately upon notification that those charges were not brought, knowing that that affected Mr. Lee's liberty. And I'm not happy that I wasn't contacted at all. Anything you want to say before I sentence him on his misdemeanor?
Nothing further, Your Honor. I would just reiterate his request be sentenced to time served on that misdemeanor.
Fines and costs of $250. Those fines and costs are waived in their entirety. 90 days suspended on that case. With reference to his felony matters, those will continue to preliminary examination on October 8th before Judge Burke. Bond on those cases, both will be set at personal recovery. The conditions will remain. They never left. It's just they took his liberty on something that didn't get authorized. You're going to be free to go.
I'm going home today.
You're going to be let out, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Court's going to stand in recess.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
The 14th District Court for County of Washington, State of Michigan is now back in session. The Honorable Judge Jay said to preside.
Has the state prosecutor left?
I think so.
She needs to get back in here because I'm going back on the record on Mr. Lee. I don't know who else has that case. You may be seated, folks. Yes. At 1 o'clock?
Yeah, she has.
I want her here because I need a message gotten to that office right away. Court is recalling the cases of the people versus Don Lee, both his felonies and his misdemeanor cases.
Good morning again, Your Honor. Ashley Lonnie for the people.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Pay on behalf of Mr. Lee.
I'm going to waive Mr. Lee's appearance because they took him down so he could be processed out immediately. But I want to make a record clear and know, and I realize, Ms. Lundy, you were not the one involved, but I am more than livid right now because this case, we went back and checked our records. Mr. Lee was taken into custody on the people's representation regarding the previous case. I took him into custody at 11:43 a.m. on June 26th. After having him wait here in court, I took him into custody on that date, and it's important, at 11:43 a.m. on the 26th. There was an attempt to swear out that case that was done before Magistrate Fink less than an hour later at 12:31 p.m., where the magistrate did not find probable cause. And this court was not informed. Mr. Lee was in custody. It was another attempt made to swear out that complaint on the 30th. Again, no probable cause. It is inexcusable that the prosecutor on their representations had this court act that deprived Mr. Lee of his liberty for 7 days. Inexcusable. So, Ms. Lundy, again, while you are not the person that was involved in this, but has done, I will expect a call from Ms. Burton Harris regarding this matter.
Yes, Your Honor.
Today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Now, the fun thing about that was the guy that I showed earlier, the guy that got 2 years of contempt from Judge Simpson, that was the next case up. So that guy came in with a good attitude, and Judge Simpson went right back to the same lighthearted attitude about it. So I got a little bit of Judge Oakley for us today. Yep, Sean's dad is mad. Absolutely. He certainly doesn't like that. Well, one of the things that some of the times these judges, you feel like they're just putting everybody in jail, but they're just following the process. In the end, they're either putting everybody in jail or they're letting everybody go. None of these judges can keep anyone happy. So, all right, we're going to jump over there. And yes, Donald, every one of us is jealous that you got to meet Judge Simpson. Steve got to meet Judge Oakley, and we're all hoping to catch up to that. So, congratulations on that, and we're certainly looking for some war stories from whenever you go down to Houston. Getting to meet Kathy and getting to meet Judge Fleischer, it kind of makes you wonder which one's going to be more exciting to meet. So let's jump over to Judge Oakley.
Mr. Donald? Yeah, come on up. Right at the podium, Mr. Donald. We've got your attorney on Zoom here. Counsel, go ahead when you're ready.
Brian Gagnick, sir, Neighborhood Defender Service, P64220. Mr. Donald, introduce yourself, and Your Honor, please accept our waiver of the examination.
Thank you. So you've talked to your counsel, you understand your rights? You understand the options those rights give you today? You understand the purpose for a preliminary exam? It's my understanding you're going to waive that. You understand when you do waive it, that means you're done at the district court level where you're at right now, and we're sending you downtown. You understand all that? Understanding all of that, are you waiving freely and voluntarily today? You're not doing this just because council wanted you to. Okay. Council, you satisfied with the waiver?
I am, sir.
All right. AOI date, 2 weeks from today, which would be the 16th. 9 a.m. Continue bond council.
Yes, please.
Will do. And, all right, Mr. Donald, it looks like you owe us lots of money on a 2016 drinking and driving charge.
Yes, I was working on that. Got a new job.
Where are you working?
Oh, well, I work at Rosewood.
Okay. All right.
Time I was with American, which is a shop.
Currently, are you in a position to get some kind of regular payment started?
Yes, sir.
Can you set something up on paper before you leave the building? Okay. All right. Anything else, council?
No, Your Honor, not to this matter. I have two other matters that are in custody. I'm going to also leave another phone number in the chat. But either way, I will physically be present in your courthouse, probably say 11:45 today.
Okay. And you understand we're having trouble with downtown's computer system?
Big surprise. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yep. All right. We'll see you later. We're going to get you a paper notice and then you're free to get out of here. No, no. Oh, no notice. We don't give those anymore. So you're good to go. 2 weeks, 9 a.m.
Okay, and that's the 16th.
Correct.
I will see some papers.
We don't give notices anymore.
Okay,
Just be at Third Circuit Court, 9 a.m.
Downstairs. Downstairs. Yeah. They'll hook you up. 9 a.m.
Oh, no, it's not there anymore.
It's it's the new criminal justice system.
301
In Detroit Criminal Justice Center.
What's going on, Tim?
Yeah.
Mr. Denise, am I saying it right?
Sure.
Are you going forward today without an attorney? All right, let's see what we got. All right, I've got a misdemeanor in front of me. It says you're going to plead guilty.
Correct.
All right. You understand the possible penalty for that charge?
Yes.
You understand your rights and the options those rights present to you? And understanding all of that, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily today?
Sir.
All right, on September 7, 2024, about 6 p.m., were you in Sumter Township?
Yes, sir.
And were you hunting?
No, sir, I was protecting livestock.
All right, then why are you pleading guilty to hunting without a license? That's like saying I'm guilty of drunk driving, but I wasn't drinking and I wasn't driving.
Because I can't afford to take off work.
That's not the way it works. I gotta have a factual basis to accept the plea.
I killed the animal that was attacking the livestock.
Okay, what was it?
It was a turkey bird. Vulture. And I told the prosecutor it was a cow.
It was a who?
I
I don't even know what that is. What's a cowley? Coyote. But it wasn't a coyote.
was a turkey vulture that was attacking the chicken, but it wasn't attacking the chicken.
Those are federally protected, aren't they?
Yes, sure. That's why he gave me a ticket for hunting without license.
Okay, the problem is I can't accept a guilty plea if you weren't hunting.
That's protecting my license.
No, I understand your motivation.
Just want to get this done over with, Your Honor. I didn't know about the protective bird until I got there. They were helping me out. I gave me just hunting.
Yeah. No, I hear him. All right, here's what we can do. So if you plead no contest, what you're well, hold on. Do I have anything to accept a factual basis? I don't. Mohammed, you there? He's not back on yet? Have a seat. Go see if Mohammed's got an incident report on this. I'm gonna see if I can figure out a way to get you out of here.
That's like we needed the ticket,
Probably true.
but what the ticket, not just.
Just has the charge. There's no remarks in it. Are we ready on Leonard? Come on up, counsel.
Ready?
Your appearance.
Morning, I think they bring up your partner, Len. Hear that right? Len,
Good morning, Mr. Leonard.
Leonard, sorry, do that to me all the time.
Yeah, the first name thing.
77302, sir, can you say your name for the record? Partner Leonard. Thank you. Your Honor, today's the date and time set for probable cause conference in this matter. Did I have the opportunity to speak with the prosecutor? We have a resolution. Speak to the case here in district court. My client will be entering a plea to a misdemeanor. With the understanding that 12-month probationary period that includes 40 hours of community, any other conditions the court sees fit. Also, at sentencing, the full amount of restitution, which is $14,974. My client will be prepared to pay that. So I asked the court to accept this plea today.
Okay.
Question.
Okay. Is this a 1-year misdemeanor?
Yes.
Okay. Do you understand your rights and options after discussing same with counsel? All right. And you understand the possible penalty for the added charge, the reduced charge? Understanding all of that, are you pleading to that charge freely and voluntarily today? Counsel, would you voir dire for me? Get me the facts I need from 12/1/21 incident date?
Yes, sir, from December 1st of 2021 to July of 2022, were you an employee at Amazon?
Yes, I was.
And did you work at their facility on Ecorse Road here in Romulus?
Yes, I did.
And during that time, did you convert some property that was not yours from Amazon to yourself? Did you take it?
Yes, I did.
And that property included various electronics?
Correct.
And you would agree that the value was over $200?
Correct.
You satisfied? So am I. So how much time do they need to scrape up the money? I'll give them a sentencing date after that.
I think it's ready to go, so I don't think we need a ton of time.
You got it today?
Not today, but
All right.
soon. It doesn't have to be.
When's our next sentencing date?
Yeah, we go a little further than that. I have like 3 hearings. I don't know.
November 21st, that gives them one.
November, no, I can't say it. November 21.
November?
Yeah,
Yep.
it'll be 1 p.m.
That's fine. Thank you, found that. Yeah, that works. Thank you.
All right, November 21, 1 p.m. Okay, and you're on a personal bond, so that's continued.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, gentlemen. Oh, and I never said it for the record, but the felony's dismissed.
All right, we have one other plan as well. I'll do.
Okay. Are you ready? What is it? Mr. Green? Mr. Mohammed, do you have an incident report on that file?
I don't, and I understand the court's concern because I had the same one.
All right.
He advised me that he was defending his livestock. I said, no, based on that, if it was me, I wouldn't do any plea. I would set this for a trial. And I told him I can't just take his word and go off of it. And he said he wants to get this resolved today. The only thing I can think of is a delayed sentence. And that's why I made it.
My problem is first words out of my mouth is, were you hunting on that date? He said, no.
Yeah.
And he wasn't. He was shooting. Is there such a misdemeanor as a reckless discharge of firearm? I thought there was.
I personally think it looks worse on the record. We can amend it to that and just keep it at a shorter term in regards to delayed sentence. Like
I'm okay with any delay. I'm okay with a day. I don't care what the delayed sentence is if you want to give them a delayed sentence. I just need to have something I either have to have something I can look at to get the facts for a no contest plea, or I need a plea that factually he can tell me without lying. Give it some thought. Got a suggestion?
That is sort of, but. That should
But
be.
then again, he wasn't acting disorderly, his defending was livestock, so at least told him.
Then maybe it should just be dismissed.
The thing is I would just need to confirm, so I think we should adjourn it. I'll reach out to the officer. If he indicates what the defendant is saying is true.
Was this a DNR, was it a DNR ticket or a local ticket?
It was, I don't know.
DNR? Who was the officer? Was it Schobel?
Well, M. Lawrence.
Okay.
And I have a contact at, with the DNR officer. I'll reach out.
You know, we're gonna try to take care of you today. We're gonna try to take care of you today.
Let me see what I can.
And if we can't take care of you today and he's fairly confident he can get rid of it, then we'll give you a date and you won't have to come back. We'll try it that way. All right. So we're gonna try to take care of you today. Yeah. Yeah. I got rules I gotta follow, brother. I'm trying to help you out here. So just give me some time. All right. I'm sorry, counsel. Good morning, Mr. Green. Go ahead.
Morning, guys. That's great. Yeah, Mr. Peterson. Yeah, today's the date, time, some probable cause conference. We're trying to reach a resolution here and misdemeanor resolution. We don't have a number for restitution.
Okay. You want to just adjourn the PCC then?
Yes, we could.
How far out you want to go? Any Wednesday works for us, so whatever works best for you two.
Twenty-third.
All right, that'll be on Zoom with Judge Green. 8:45, 9:15, 9:45,
What time, what day? October 20th?
October 23. And I will continue bond, and Mr. Green will get you a paper notice for that date. You're welcome. Always a pleasure. We know what the back row people are here. Oh. Good.
Good morning, Ronnie Ford record. Jeffrey Bowden, 45367, appearing on behalf of and with Mr. Moore, who's approaching us. Sir, won't you stand right here? So, does your name be humble? And? Just like me, brother.
Mrs. Moore, how's it going? Good. I understand.
Today is date time, so free trial.
Yep.
Requesting you to adjourn until
Yeah.
25th. I know
You got it.
questions.
You got it.
Business over.
Yeah. I understand you've been staying in close contact with Mr. Taylor. Good, good. And I understand you're having a heck of a time getting his ID straightened out.
Yes,
Are you getting closer?
well, don't online, try to get the transcript.
Okay. Okay. Good luck. Mr. Taylor may be able to help, so just stay in contact with him.
Okay.
And I understand you had the mental health evaluation done and now you signed the paperwork so Mr. Taylor can get a look at the results, right? Okay. All right. All right. So we'll see you again in November. Keep in contact with Mr. Taylor and keep moving forward. He thinks he's got a job for you if we can get you some ID. All right. Okay. You good? Okay.
Ask me is when he smiles.
I don't know
I don't know.
because he won't smile for me.
I told him he'd fire me if he didn't smile, but he.
Mr. Moore, you don't have to be afraid to come here. You're okay. You're gonna be fine. You okay? Okay. Have a nice day.
Get him to give his brother his phone back. He takes the phone, it's his brother's phone. I pay the bill every month.
Yeah.
He takes the phone and knock his brother out of it, can't use him.
Why are you taking his phone?
We already went over this. Yeah, I agree that I would unlock the phone and take all of my stuff out of it. And
Oh, so you've been sharing the phone.
No,
I've given him the phone on multiple days. I haven't just been keeping it all to myself.
Yeah. No, but I mean, you're using the phone. You're taking it and you're using it. Okay. All right. But it's his phone. Yeah, you give it back to him.
He's on the phone.
Yeah. 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 You don't bogart the phone. We're gonna get you a job. You get your own phone.
That's what I was saying. We agreed that I could take all of my stuff off of it.
Okay.
Right back.
Okay.
And you don't bogart me when I go into a room like this here. He stands up there, won't let me go through. And I don't
I
like it.
don't do that.
Okay.
I stand there for a split second to think about something, then I move straight out of the way.
Okay. Well, get better. Get better. Get better. Just improvement every day. Every day. Just keep moving forward. All right? Can't have tension in the house. That's bad for everybody. All right? You're going to your treatments? Aren't you meeting with a counselor at Higuera? All right. You're going every time you're scheduled? Okay. All right. Keep it up. And once again, let Mr. Taylor know if you think he can help you get that ID, because that's holding us back right now. Right? And I'm not criticizing you. I understand you're running into a lot of roadblocks, but that's right now, that's the big thing we got to do is get you an ID. All right? We'll see you in November. Keep doing better.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Counsel, what do you got today?
Nothing. Just came to say hi.
Yeah.
Have a lovely day.
Don't come on.
Came out a long day.
Hey, everybody, I'm going to jump in there between the hearings there and just mention the fundraiser for Linus. The goal was 1,500 euros, and we've already got over 1,000 euros. So we're already 2/3 of the way there, and it's only been going on for, I'd say, 3 or 4 days. So we're getting there. Linus is getting her paperwork in order, but if you feel compelled to donate, jump in, throw in. If you can't, send her a kind word. She'll be happy about that. But we're almost there. So thank you, everybody, for the ones who's donated so far.
Mr. Friedman, are you ready? Come on up on the People versus Randy. Is it Goulet? Goulet? Go ahead.
Your Honor, my name is Randy Goulet. He's president of Court standing to my right. Judge, please state your name for the record.
Thank you.
Your Honor, today's the time and date set for a probable cause conference. In this matter, I've been able to reach a negotiable settlement with the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office, by which the felony will be dismissed. My client will plead to an added charge of carrying, I think, failure to obtain a permit. Is that correct?
Obtaining a license or obtaining a pistol without a license, 750.232A.
He's going to tender that plea today. We are seeking an immediate sentence. I know that the prosecutor's office lists certain requirements of the reduction.
Well, let's talk about that. I don't like misdemeanor pleas that have requirements of the court. I like recommendations of the court. And I think I've had that conversation with Mr. Muhammad before, haven't I?
Yes, you have.
All right.
What is the code?
750.232A. Go ahead.
I didn't know objection to you adding whatever you want to it.
Well, it's not that I'm going to add. I'm going to just ignore some of what he's got on here.
Oh, I'm okay with that too.
Well, I know you are. Mr. Muhammad, not on the camera.
Let me see if I can throw him in here.
He was in there something.
Yeah, he's in and out. Well, let's see what we can do. So, Mr. Goulet. Mr. Goulet, have you discussed your options and your rights with counsel?
He's in here, yes.
All right. Mr. Muhammad.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. On Mr. Goulet's file, just to clarify, The paperwork I've got with a sentence agreement, you understand I'm taking those as recommendations.
I understand, Judge.
Okay, that just want to clarify. Thank you. Go back to
Thank
work. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So you understand your rights and your options. You understand the possible penalty for this added charge, this reduction? Understanding all of that, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? Counsel, would you voir dire to get me the facts I need? September 17 is the incident date I'm looking at.
Mr. Goulet, the date that the judge just read into the record, were you in a vehicle? Yes. Did you have a weapon? Yes. That was your weapon, correct? Yes, it was. Were you in the city of Romulus? Yes. Were you in the state of Michigan? Yes. Did you have an encounter with the police? I did. Did the police then find that weapon? They did. Yes. And you did not have any sort of permit or any sort of legal ability to possess that weapon, is that correct? Yes. Your Honor, does that fulfill your, the factual basis as far as the court's concerned? I'm satisfied with it.
You did not have a license to purchase that pistol, correct? Okay, I'm satisfied. So what should I know about Mr. Goulet?
Your Honor, Mr. Goulet is in school. He is obviously standing before you. He has no criminal history. He was fully open and honest with the police.
Good.
When he was asked about reasons for having the weapon. His little brother, was being harassed. I don't know if it was by gang members or people in his neighborhood. He felt like he needed protection. And this is, I'm taking this right from the police report.
Right.
From the police that he purchased the gun, from a guy, he described the guy he purchased it from. You remember the exact day and the exact amount of money, $300. That he worked hard to earn, and purchase the gun. Obviously, there was legal ways for him to go about trying to purchase the gun. He also, part of the reason why, the police were able to search his vehicle when they pulled him over was that he was driving on a learner's permit, albeit he didn't have an adult in the car. He had other, kids that, are friends of his and he went to school with in the car. And that was the reason why they were able to obviously place him under search the vehicle.
But they didn't write him for that.
But
They didn't write him for driving without a license.
they,
Okay.
and that was the basis of the stop, I think, was speeding.
Yep.
They realized that he, didn't have a full license. And as the court knows, you can carry other applications to prevent.
Yep.
Probably because they're charging him with a felony.
Local, but
Oh.
we charge them state and tickets haven't come.
Okay. All right. Heather just let me know that they're in the process of doing the civil infractions.
Okay.
All right.
Would they
All right.
be handled by the state? They'd be handled locally.
They'll be handled by the state.
Oh, I wish I could.
They would have got here in
Yeah.
time to put them together, but obviously we didn't.
Great. So.
Yeah.
Standing before you, I know that, his father is a very nice man, hardworking man, and, trying to raise his family here. My client, as I indicated, doesn't have any criminal history.
Right.
No assault history, and he's in a little, what school are you putting away? I'm probably IAT.
Sure. Where'd you go to high school?
I graduated from UC Lady High School this May.
What was your GPA?
About a 2.5 plus.
Probably should have been closer.
College classes kind of lowered them down. I had a college class I was doing the road while in high school was a little hard.
Okay. Was the GPA as high as it could have been, or did you slack off a little bit? Okay. And are you working too?
Yeah.
Where at?
Little Caesars, Michigan now. I do a little side stuff too.
How many hours a week are you getting at Little Caesars?
I get 15 plus,
All right. What are they paying you?
maybe 13 an hour.
Oh, man. Before you leave this building, I want you to go downstairs and ask to speak to Mr. Taylor. All right? You're living on Gulfview? That's where you live? He just told me today, he's got a notice from FedEx for a box shuffler in the warehouse, $17.50 an hour. So Mr. Taylor's got, he like gathers all the information from anybody in the location or in our area that's hiring people, like entry-level jobs. You can do better than 15 hours a week at $13 an hour. All right.
You might smell that right now. It wouldn't be.
Yeah, you probably don't even want to eat pizza anymore. All right. All right, so let's get back to sentencing. Is there anything you want me to know before I set the terms of sentence?
Again, I think standing before you, I think I've laid out, as much as I know about Mr. Goulet for the court. Obviously, this was something that there's a confluence of bad decisions.
Big mistake. I learned from this for sure.
Listen to me. I applaud you for wanting to take care of family. I do. But you know, seriously, that kind of stupidity is what keeps us in business. I mean, I wish I had $1 for every 20-year-old kid I've seen in front of me that headed for prison because he had good intentions, just did not use his brain. Man, you're so lucky. This is all you're here with. You probably already had that conversation with him.
No, we did.
Yeah.
And his dad did.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, this probably scared the hell out of Dad. Yeah.
This is he actually told me he was sitting outside. I kept sending him into your courtroom when I went to speak to the prosecutor. I came back out. I'm like, you're not sitting in the courtroom. And he's told me that he's never actually been inside a courtroom. So he wanted to come in with me.
Right.
Wasn't sure what was going to happen.
This is a scary fact scenario, that's for sure. All right. Anything else? Okay. All right. I'll go along with the prosecutor. I'll sentence you to 12 months on probation. The obvious condition is no more criminal offenses. So for 12 months, walk the straight and narrow. I'm not going to order community service. I'm going to order 7 days on the work program. We recently reinstated our work program, counsel. Mr. Taylor is the guy that you're going to see about that. So when you're seeing him, tell him Oakley said, talk to you about a job, right? Forfeit the pistol as per the agreement with the prosecutor's office.
I was going to ask, I don't want to step on toes.
You can push your luck.
I was going to ask about 771.
I'll be happy to do that, but I'm not going to do it without prosecutor signing off on it.
I asked him about it, and obviously you gave my client an outstanding deal.
Yep.
I understand that, so I'll back off.
Okay. All right. So 12-month probation, stay out of trouble, 7 days on the court work program, forfeit the pistol, court costs $600.
I'll have time to pay that, John.
You can work all that out downstairs. No, I don't even want to do, no, I'll do non-reporting probation.
Thank you.
Now, I'm going to suggest something to you. Mr. Taylor could be a real good guy to put in your phone. So you might want to stop in periodically and see Mr. Taylor and see what's going on with the jobs in the area and stuff like that. I'm not going to make you report to probation. It might be a good idea for you to voluntarily stay in touch with him. All right?
Thanks, John.
Good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Always a pleasure.
Climate in here as well.
All right, hey everybody, we're getting done with there. Once again, I just want to mention the thing with Linus. If you have an opportunity to donate to it. If you don't, just send a message to let her know you're supporting her. That means a lot to her as well. Thank you all for sticking it out for the night. We got Metal Rules came in right there at the end, so we'll put him on the replay crew. But thank you so much. Y'all have a good night, and we'll see y'all tomorrow night. Bitter Harvest, I got you some videos coming. We'll talk to you in a bit.